Tonight's episode is brought to you by the Boogeyman. Since last week's episode was brought to you by Danhausen, Boogeyman said he was coming to get us. I choose to appease him by having this episode sponsored by him. Tonight on Ramblers Unleashed. What's the Baron's favorite color? Yeah, I thought it was green too. It's actually whatever color Liv is wearing in the moment. Is Jaybone going to be talking in depth about luchas tonight? Nope. Max has something else for him tonight. Max has something to say about the NFL and wrestling. All this and more next on Ramblers Unleashed.
This is Max Magius. My co-host would have you believe that kids shouldn't be listening to our show because we use fucking bad language. I say they have to learn sometimes, so put the little shit next to the computer, and viewer discretion is advised.
The wrestling podcast that sets all other podcasts apart. Covering news from the world of WWE, AEW, TNA, and more. Your favorite weekly episodic podcast, Ramblers Unleashed, starts now.
I'm sorry, Baron. I had to do it. I had to do it in the beginning. I'm sorry. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Ramblers Unleashed. We are the Ramblers, and we have been unleashed on you, the viewing audience. Dizzy is on special assignment tonight, reliving his high school years, wearing his DX shirt on his patio, and telling everybody to suck it. So let's introduce the Ramblers who are here. Up first, a man who would never leave me high and dry. Well, not dry at least. And whose signature catchphrase is and always will be
420.
Ladies and gentlemen, round of applause for the Baron.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much to all the fans out there. And no, my favorite color is green. For many different things.
Like the Hulk?
Yeah. I turn green a lot of times throughout the day. Dude, it's great to be here, man. Miss you guys as always. It's been a long week since our last show, so it's good. There hasn't been much coming out that I've noticed wrestling news, but I'm sure Max has got some good shit for us. But I really haven't fucking catched up with it, so I'm ready to hear some fucking opinions for sure today.
Well, I'll be honest with you. We're going to start the show with some really big stuff. We're going to go into stuff that doesn't matter as much. And then we're going to end the show with something big. And I blame Jaybone for the fact that I'm ending the show with something big, just for the record.
That's what she said.
Speaking of, up next, a man who has spent more hours studying TNA and Lucha Underground than other wrestling fans in the history of pro wrestling. Give it up for Jaybone.
What's up, guys?
Punk in the cut. What up, Punk?
Yeah, so Saturday night's main event was pretty cool. I can't believe I got all my predictions right. Even the junkyard dog and
you didn't.
Yeah, I did. I checked them. You put them in the chat.
No. You'd have been right if you hadn't predicted Junkyard Dog and Bruiser Brody. You picked Junkyard Dog and Bruiser Brody, so you missed that point.
But they won. I watched it. We all watched. What are you talking about? Did you,
Baron? Did you send him some of your stash?
I think he got his own stash that might be a little bit higher than my stash at this point in juncture. Just a little bit. No.
I don't know. I was watching the main event. I could have swore I saw Junkyard Dog going nuts with the chain, and so So I might be. I thought I was. Anyways.
Hey, I've had a lot of acid trips in my day, J-Bone, and I could see that happening for sure. If on acid.
I'm not touching acid. I got 2 brain cells left. I got to try to preserve them.
That's why you have to take it. That's why you must do it.
Does that stuff grow it? Anyways. Max is like, please.
Wait. This is important. He has 2 brain cells left, and they're both battling for second place.
No shit.
Poor J-Bone.
That's right.
All right. Up next, the other member of the Ramblers crew. For without you, we'd just be a bunch of idiots talking to each other on a video call. Give it up for yourselves over there in the chat. Yeah, right over there. All right, guys. Before we get into the news tonight, I want to say a couple things. First, we will discuss Saturday Night Main Event results tonight. Final scores might surprise you. Shut it, Jaybone. You did not get a perfect score. You chose Junkyard Dog and Bruiser Brody.
My ass. All right, continue.
All right. Secondly, I want to talk about Royce Isaacs. This guy has really come up in the world since I met him here in Denver. He was getting his start as a member of the Upgrades while I was working with Primos. He's worked with DDT Pro, Championship Wrestling from Hollywood, New Japan, Ring of Honor, very talented wrestler, good guy too. He was trained by Lonnie Valdez right here in Colorado at the wrestling school associated with Primos, the butcher shop. Royce took to social media to announce that his match in Ring of Honor with Khan, filmed in June, will be his last match for the time being. He announced that he has met with a specialist and found out that he has an L5 disc desiccation that's also impeding S1. He's hoping to return in November. And give me a second. I want to read you what he said on social media real quick.
Wait, say the name again? Say the name again?
Royce Isaacs.
Oh, God, that's a name I haven't heard in a while. All right, continue.
He said, after meeting with a specialist, unfortunately, I have to announce I will be out for the next 3 months recovering. MRI came back with an L5 disc desiccation that's also impeding S1. Long story short, I need an epidural shot and then extensive rehab and PT at minimum. All things considered, I'm doing okay mentally, and it makes perfect sense given all the back issues I've had over the past couple of years. The last 4 months of sciatic pain were all related to my lumbar spine and years of accumulated trauma. The plan is to take this time, build my spine back stronger than ever, and hit the ground running in November. I'm glad that my body warned me now before I really permanently messed myself up, and I'm grateful I was able to push and get through my Ring of Honor match with Khan as my last match for now. Not a bad place to press the pause button, so to speak. Once again, to be clear, this is a chronic thing that's been getting worse. I did not get injured at ROH, and the current issue escalated while doing aggressive PT the week after returning. Definitely not trying to turn this announcement into a pity party, but I do make my money wrestling, and at the moment, I'm bedridden most of the day. If you're a fan and want to buy merch to support, please hit my DM. And if you're a wrestler that's interested in match critique, I do that on my Cameo, link in bio. I've had an extremely blessed career these past 12 years, and while these next 3 months will be a challenge for sure, I am looking forward to coming back stronger than ever and ending the year with a bang to make up for lost time. If there is anything that you can do to help Royce Isaacs, please go over to my Twitter. If you follow me on Twitter, I went there earlier today and retweeted his tweet. So please go over there, find his tweet on my page, and help him out if you can. He's a really good guy. He really needs the help right now, and I appreciate any help you guys might be able to give. So I'll just say thank you in advance for that.
Yeah,
So,
I've had 3 back surgeries, and back stuff is no joke. So yeah, it's man, I hope I hope that if he does have some kind of minor surgery, it is, that he can come back in a few months, and that it helps him, because I've had some smaller surgeries and then a full-blown 2-level back fusion, and let me tell you, it's crazy stuff.
and if you guys want to throw this picture up so people can see the guy I know, I would appreciate that as well. I mean, he really is. He's a good guy. I want to help him out any way we can, and I know we have a pretty decent community here. So
Yeah, I haven't seen that, but I was a big fan of his. But I'm trying to think, what was his tag partner? Because I remember seeing their stuff a lot in when they were in NWA, when NWA really started booming. When
they were West Coast Wrecking Crew.
That's it. Yeah.
His partner was Jorel Nelson.
That's it. Yeah, I remember seeing him a few places, and it's yeah.
So listen, if you follow us, if you follow me on Twitter, if there's any way you can help, please do. I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you, boys, for indulging me on something that's a tangent from what we normally do. I mean, it's wrestling news, don't get me wrong, but it's kind of a tangent. It's not something that we would normally do to reach out with the indie side of things to help out. But I appreciate you guys for allowing that.
So he had some time in AEW.
Yeah.
Well, they were
Did
just
not know
saying he
that.
was just saying Ring of Honor, so that's
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's actually got his own Wikipedia page. I was
Yeah.
kind of impressed by that. But yeah, he's done some time with AEW, done some time with Ring of Honor, New Japan. Technically, he is considered. If you look him up right now, it'll say that he is currently signed with New Japan, but his last match was in Ring of Honor, so that's why I was more focused on that.
Yeah.
So, all right, guys, let's talk about some sad news from Ringside News. Former WWF star Siva Afi dies as family confirms his passing. Former WWF wrestler Siva Afi has died, and his family confirming the news. Book Pro Wrestler shared the update and paid tribute to Afi, remembering both his wrestling career and the life he built outside the ring. We are saddened to learn that Siva Afi has passed away, as confirmed by his family. Afi's career stretched far beyond the squared circle. He worked as Burt Reynolds' bodyguard and stuntman, but those who knew him inside the wrestling business just remembered him just as much for the kind of person he was backstage. The tribute ended with a message to Afi's loved ones. From his memorable WWF run to his work as Burt Reynolds' bodyguard stuntman, Siva lived a remarkable life. More importantly, he earned the respect of those who shared a locker room with him. So many of the wrestlers we've spoken with over the years remembered him as a genuinely kind and well-liked man. Rest in peace, Siva Afi. Our thoughts are with his family and friends. Afi, whose real name was... guys, listen, I'm going to say sorry right now. I am not going to try to pronounce this fully Samoan name. We're just going to skip right past it. It's Papaliatel, and that's all I'm going to say. But it is Max. Max is part of his real name.
Max. I was just gonna say you got Max in there.
He began wrestling in the 1970s and built a career that took him around the world. He wrestled nearly 30 matches for New Japan in 1985 before making his way to the WWF, where he competed from 1986 to 1988. Afi remained active for years after his WWF run, with his final match taking place in 1997. Siva Afi leaves behind a career that crossed wrestling, film, and entertainment, but the strongest memories appear to come from the people who shared locker rooms with him and remembered him as one of the good ones. So our condolences out to his family. I didn't watch a lot of him, but I do remember him from the day, and it's a Samoan. How do you not shout out a Samoan and their family after they pass? Those are the most caring people I've ever met.
Yeah, I feel you. Yeah, rest in peace.
All right, guys, up next, Jaybone's really excited to talk about this, so I'm going to read this post from social media, and then I'm going to let Jaybone talk about it. 2 days ago, about 2 o'clock my time, Zilla Fatu posted on his Facebook, "Finally done with parole. God is good all the time. To everyone who believed in me, please stay tuned because this is only the beginning of something new." Finished his parole, and there's a rumor that he may be on his way to the WWE. J-Bone, take it away.
Yeah, I saw this on his social media, his mainly his Facebook. I was just scrolling through Facebook and I happened to see it, and I was like, "Oh wow!" So for those, I mean, he's been on fans' radar for a while now. He's done stuff locally here. He's been all over the place. He's been part of Fourth Row. He even made it a TNA appearance somewhere in the last year. I can't remember what show it was. I think it was Bound for Glory, but don't quote me on that. Last year. And I know so many people are like, "Well, why aren't people pulling the trigger on him? Why?" And with the announcement, it makes total sense. I didn't like. I know that that there's been a few guys in the Samoan family that have gotten into some trouble, but obviously, if the man has been under on parole or whatever, they're not they want to make sure that his record is clear or as clear as you can get it before they pull the trigger on him and hire him, for any company. But I know the goal for him is WWE. I always wanted to see him do a few more appearances in TNA, but I know his goal is to be with the rest of his family. So yeah, it just makes sense. So it makes all the sense in the world, why he has not taken the next step, or why any company hasn't taken the next step and to get him in those doors, through the doors. There you go. The guy's not on parole anymore. It makes sense. I didn't even know. I'm going to take a wild guess that did you guys know? I didn't know.
No, I had no fucking idea actually at all until you guys mentioned it. So that makes a lot of sense. Why? Because shit, this has been going around for almost a year now with him coming over at this point, right?
Okay, yeah. We've been talking about this as a possibility for quite a while, and I do want to share a rumor that I recently heard that I think is not going to happen at this point, because I think we're basically out of time. I heard that there was the plan to have a hooded figure come in and attack Seth, Roman, or both, leading up to their match at SummerSlam. And the idea that the WWE wanted to use was they wanted to make it seem like it was Dean Ambrose doing the attack, because we're getting our full circle. We're getting our Shield closure. Dean Ambrose doesn't have his closure. So let's put that idea in people's heads. But then it was going to be revealed as Zilla Fatu down at some point. But I think that if you're doing that as part of your build-up to SummerSlam, waiting until a week and a half before the show is probably too late to start that plan, unless you're doing it to build up to the next whatever we're doing with this story. So,
well, right now they're trying to do anything they can to put butts in seats. Being, they even had, and I'm sorry, I don't remember the name of the guy, but they had promos going during Saturday night's main event. The guy with a promo saying, it was some guy from like the Minnesota Vikings or something, and he had his own promo code, and you could go get tickets for like $25. So it was like some massive sale, and I heard it helped, but I don't know by any means how much.
The $25 tickets though were for outside the stadium, 2 blocks around the corner. That's your viewing seats for 25.
Wow, I got the glasses for it. I
don't know.
And we're going to talk about one of the worst ideas to put butts in seats that they've come up with here a little later in the show when we go to From the Desk of Max Magius.
It's just mind-boggling to me, though, is like SummerSlam is like, what?
A week and a half.
Like 9-10 days, right? Like,
right.
There's not much they could do to build anything. And I don't know if that... Is this closure? This is not closure between Roman and Seth. This is like their 4th, 5th singles match together, isn't it?
No, but they've been doing this for over a decade now, and it's. And
are we closing the book on them after SummerSlam? I just don't see that happening.
Honestly, I wouldn't. I mean, put it this way: they're not. You're not going to see these two back together again for a long time, and that's why they've been doing the promos. Okay, they had the Shield. They had the destruction of the Shield. They had the Seth Rollins running at Mania. They had the 2 feuding after that. So they've had all these like major moments with the Shield, and I think they've both gotten to a point in their career where it's like this is about as big as it can get between the two of them. I wouldn't doubt it if they close the book. Because it's like, what else are you gonna do?
I don't know. That's what I don't know.
It's time, and I think that's why we keep seeing stuff from LA Knight kind of involved in this, but not involved in this. Because, man, I mean, he is blowing up arenas whenever he's out there talking about Rollins and Reigns. And I think, man, he's on fire right now. And it's like they got to pull the trigger on night one of these days. So I don't know.
Yeah, let's hope.
Well, and the thing is, they're playing this up. The promos have all been saying it, that Roman has never gotten a legit win over Seth Rollins, that Rollins always has gotten the upper hand and that he needs this win to. But if you actually Google how many times they have gone one-on-one, I'm not talking about the triple threat with CM Punk. I'm not talking about Seth cashing in Money in the Bank at WrestleMania during the match, turning it into a triple threat. If you Google how many times they have fought one-on-one since the breakup of the Shield, I have 10 matches here. Reigns won one via DQ. But this shows him as having 4 wins. Actually, 3 wins. 1 was a double count. One match ended in a double count out. So I don't understand how they're playing it up unless they think the fans have a short memory. And have you met some of these fans? Maybe they do have that short of a memory. Grandpa. So
yeah, I mean, I've watched a million wrestling matches. I couldn't tell you. I mean, I remember significant stuff about Rollins cashing in at Mania and he won at Mania and stuff like that. But as far as like every single feud that they've had and trying to keep track of wins and losses, I couldn't even tell you what the hell I had for breakfast yesterday. You know, it's like, and I think that's the, you know, some people have that kind of memory to remember stuff like that, and some people would just go minute by minute like me because I watch so much shit. You know?
I had 2 sausage McMuffins, a sausage egg McMuffin, and a cup of coffee yesterday.
Oh, it sounds yummy.
Oh, it was delicious.
Now I want McDonald's. All right. But now I know we're just kind of talking about random stuff here, but before I forget, I want to tell you guys something that I had on my list to talk about. And I didn't know where you wanted to put it, so I'm just butting it here and putting it in here. Hope you guys
finally ordered the Viagra?
No, it hasn't.
What?
I don't think my wife is watching, so yeah, I'll surprise her with that later. I'm kidding. Jiminy Christmas. Surprise me with what? Anyways, God, what the hell is I talking about now? Okay, so a lot of wrestlers that were released a few months ago are going to be free agents. In the next 24 to 48 hours or something to that effect. I know it's soon. And one of them, and just give me a second to explain all this. So I'm on Spotify, and this is not whether you like Spotify or not. Please just give me a minute. I follow a band named Downstate, and they've done a lot of different entrances for different wrestlers, namely Cody Rhodes, Zack Ryder, The Miz, a bunch of different ones over the years. But they've been doing a lot of ones for up and coming, like ones that have gotten a second chance, like Indy Hartwell and others that have gone to TNA. Brand new theme. So I noticed here that the former Zoe, what was her name? Zoe Starks, now known as Zoe Serrano. She's healthy, ready to go. She's starting to make some dates. And Downstate just came out with a latest tune, which is her new theme, called 1,000 Razors. And you can see it on YouTube now, on their YouTube page. You can see it on Apple, Spotify, Amazon Music, wherever. Go check out the new tune. And here's I got a feeling, because the last time I saw something like this was Indy Hartwell's theme. And Same band, Downstate, and what do you know? A few weeks later, Indy Hartwell debuted for TNA. So I have a feeling the former WWE Zoe Starks, currently now Zoe Serrano, I have a feeling she's going to debut in TNA soon because one of the live dates, I think it's next week, next Thursday, is going to be a live date. And she says she put out a post with a bunch of different dates and a bunch of different locations. She's got a couple TBAs on there to be announced, for those of you that don't know what TBA is. So I have a feeling that she is going to debut in Philly next week.
So, two things real quick. First off, her non-compete period expired June 24th. So she's been free for about a month. I'm surprised that they're still listed as TBAs, unless she's surprising. And actually, Nikki Cross, Alba Fire, it sounds like everyone that was involved in that round of releases was April, so they should be about clear now. But this says that hers expired June 24th. The other thing is, I did pull up Downstate so I can tell you guys what all they sing. Kingdom, which is Cody Rhodes' entrance. I Came to Play, which is Miz. Here to Show the World, which is Dolph Ziggler. Radio, which was Zack Ryder's entrance music. Say It to My Face, which is what Alex Riley came out to. And Britt Baker's The Epic are the main ones that I'm seeing that they have written. So, if you're interested in that, check them out.
Yeah, great band, great band, and just keep an eye out for her because I got a feeling she's going to be showing up somewhere real soon. So,
yeah. All right, guys. The next story is a lead-in to the story after it. A story that I'm not thrilled about. Without this story, the next story, which I'm making Baron's buzzkill, would not be possible.
What? This story is connected to the next story, but what?
Yes, you'll understand here. You'll understand here in just a minute. From Ringside News, Janelle Grant lawsuit against Vince McMahon and WWE set to be dismissed as case moves behind closed doors. The Janelle Grant lawsuit is about to vanish from federal court. Vince McMahon and WWE are not walking away from the fight. According to a joint status report filed in Connecticut federal court, Grant, McMahon, and WWE have signed an agreement to move their entire dispute into private arbitration. Grant must now file paperwork dismissing the lawsuit against the two remaining defendants within 5 business days. The filing states, the parties jointly report that the parties have executed an agreement to arbitrate their dispute. Pursuant to that agreement, within 5 business days, plaintiff shall execute and cause to be filed a stipulation of voluntary dismissal with prejudice. For those that don't know, with prejudice means that she cannot file a new lawsuit ever again on this matter, causing the action to be dismissed in its entirety as to both remaining defendants, but without prejudice to the parties' rights to pursue their claims and defenses in arbitration. The legal language matters. Grant will dismiss the federal case with prejudice, meaning she cannot turn around and file the same lawsuit again in court. I just said that, see? However, the agreement specifically allows Grant, McMahon, and WWE to continue pursuing their claims and defenses in arbitration. In other words, the public lawsuit is ending, but the battle is moving behind closed doors. That is a massive turn after Grant's lawyers spent months fighting attempts to force the case into arbitration under the non-disclosure agreement she signed with McMahon in 2022. Grant's attorneys argued that the NDA and its arbitration clause were invalid, claiming she signed the agreement while under extreme duress and without the ability to properly consent. They also cited federal laws designed to prevent sexual assault and harassment claims from being forced into private arbitration. McMahon and WWE wanted the case pulled out of federal court. Now all sides have agreed to private arbitration process without waiting for the judge to decide whether the original NDA clause could be enforced. Grant accused McMahon of sexual abuse and trafficking and alleged that WWE enabled or concealed his conduct. McMahon has denied wrongdoing while WWE has disputed Grant's claims. Grant originally sought to void the NDA and recover additional financial damages She claimed Vince McMahon agreed to pay her $3 million under the agreement, but stopped after paying the first $1 million. The biggest change now is privacy. Federal lawsuits generate public hearings, written rulings, and court filings. Arbitration generally happens away from the public eye, meaning future testimony, evidence, and any potential financial resolution may never be revealed. This does not mean Grant has dropped her allegations or that McMahon and WWE have admitted wrongdoing. It means the public courtroom showdown is being shut down while the same fight continues through a confidential process. One of wrestling's biggest legal cases is now headed behind closed doors, and unless someone involved speaks out, the public may never learn exactly how it ends. Now, the reason I bring this story up is because it actually seems to allow this next story to happen. And that brings us to a big load of horse shit from the world of TKO. From Ringside News, Vince McMahon could return to WWE in limited on-screen role. Vince McMahon may be gone from WWE's power structure, but the door might not be completely closed on him showing up again. During Wrestling Observer Radio, Dave Meltzer addressed McMahon's future after the Janelle Grant lawsuit was moved out of federal court and into private arbitration. Meltzer made it clear that he does not see McMahon ever regaining control of WWE, and nor should he, for that matter, but he would not be shocked if the company eventually brought him back in a limited figurehead role, which they can do now that this lawsuit is no longer public. Brian Alvarez argued that WWE could not allow McMahon to run the company again after the chaos that defined his final years overseeing creative. Raw scripts were regularly changed at the last minute, announced matches disappeared without explanation, and entire shows often felt like they'd been ripped apart hours before airtime. Meltzer agreed there is no realistic path for McMahon to replace Nick Khan or Paul Triple H Levesque. However, he believes an occasional television appearance is still possible. As far as bringing him back, that's a whole other story. I don't know. It would not shock me if he was brought back in a position just to do what? I don't know. They may do it. It wouldn't shock me. I wouldn't expect it, but I cannot imagine he would be put in charge of anything. Meltzer then ruled out the idea of WWE handing McMahon any real authority over the company or its creative direction. It's not like they're going to have him replace Nick Khan calling the shots. He certainly isn't going to replace Paul Levesque doing the booking. And there's no way they can go back to that. That's not going to happen. The possibility Meltzer left open was WWE using McMahon as a ceremonial figure or a surprise attraction. McMahon would not be making decisions, but the company could still bring him out in front of a live audience for a major moment. The idea of bringing him in a figurehead position and trying him out every now and then, like I said, wouldn't shock me at all. If it came out as a surprise on a televised show, it would get this giant reaction. That's just the reality of the situation. The comments come as Grant's lawsuit against McMahon and WWE is being removed from federal court. Grant, McMahon, and WWE signed an agreement to move the entire dispute into private arbitration, with Grant set to dismiss the public lawsuit and two remaining defendants. The dismissal does not end the legal fight. I'm not going to read the rest of this because I want to get into this. This is a terrible idea. This man should never have anything to do with wrestling, especially not WWE again, not even as a figurehead with no real power. Baron, it's your buzzkill. Take it away.
Yes, no, we want nothing to do with that, please. But I mean, that possibility is there, right? And that's the scary part.
Put him in the Hall of Fame.
Isn't he on the board of directors still with TKO, technically? With the portion of WWE? I think that's not true.
No, I think that
he still owns shares.
Out. He tried to fight his way back in, and they forced him back out.
I don't know. He still has some type of share or something along those lines with the company. I've seen that publicly stated somewhere.
Yeah, it might be shares, but as far as like still being on the,
he sold his shares to Triple H and someone else to get on the board. There's people placeholding his shares on the board. That's where The Rock came in, right?
I think they let him keep some shares if he just remained a silent partner, as in don't even tell us how to do our job.
Well, this happens in corporations all the time where people pass along their shares to other people to hold the chair, right? Like that is a known corporate structure. In large corporations, people do that. It's called proxies and shit like that. So I wouldn't be surprised if he's doing shit already back there. I don't want anything to do with it. he did not leave the wrestling world in great taste with most people. If anyone, hopefully nobody. And he's the big thing too is, I mean, he's in his fucking 90s at this point, right? What is his age? Let's I gotta Google that.
I will have that for you in just a second. He is 80
years old.
He'll be 81 next month.
Wow. So yeah.
And I'm sure that car wreck did him no favors either. So.
Right. I like Max said, or do we want that? No. Would it be a surprise if he showed up? Sadly, no. Right? Like, they do some weird shit like this all the time. I don't think it's going to go over well with the wrestling world. And really, if you're going to forcefully do something with him in the wrestling world, have it backstage where he's not on TV. But again, money is money at the end of the day. If he boosts up numbers, I wouldn't be surprised if they did that. Right? So
just the fact that this whole thing is like going behind closed doors is just, dude, you know nothing's gonna happen to him. It's just, and it's so ugly. Just the system is so effed up.
Yeah,
across the board. It's like
money wins at the end of the fucking day, and that's just
it does
how it is. Sadly,
the guy's a billionaire 3 times over. So according to Google, and he could throw money at the judge. He could throw more money at Janelle Grant and be like, "Shut your damn mouth. Let's continue." And it's sad. I'm not saying that's definitely what's happening, but it wouldn't surprise me at this point. If he's walking away with a slap on the wrist, like, shame on you. Okay, we're closing the door on this now. What the fuck?
Listen, I wasn't there for a lot of this. You can see it in the stories that he put forth over time. This man needs to be held accountable for the shit that he did. And not just, here, I'll just pay you so that, we'll call that my accountability. Bullshit. Do not dismiss this case. Keep it in federal court. Keep it in the public eye. It'll help us out with not having to worry about him returning, and hold this man accountable.
Right.
All right. I just had to get that out. There are things.
Take a breath. Take a breath.
Yeah. There are things I don't like about the world of pro wrestling. I never have, and I never will. For example, when you take someone with zero training in pro wrestling and give them a match. Tonight's From the Desk of Max Magius is one of those situations.
Oh boy. Grab your popcorn, kids. Here we go.
From Ringside News, Tom Brady's match against Logan Paul expected to take place at WrestleMania.
Oh, Jesus.
Tom Brady's feud with Logan Paul may be headed straight for WrestleMania. It's another thing from David Meltzer and Brian Alvarez, though. So the problem is, if you've been paying attention the last couple of weeks, you would see the signs are there. So, yay, Meltzer and Alvarez probably got something right for once. During wrestling,
I still say WrestleMania ain't happening in Riyadh next year. You got to look at the climate of the Middle East right now, and this isn't a political thing. It's just, dude, it's not fucking safe. It's
We said the same thing about Night of Champions earlier this year, and they still held it in Riyadh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but things are very different now than it was back then. Because now there's just shit blowing up all over the place. I'm just
I mean, yeah, I've said this 100 times, but the thing is that shit has been blowing up over there forever, right? In the Middle East. And yes, it's much worse now, but at the end of the day, again, we talk about the greed, the money that's being paid for these people to go over there. And I mean, it's absolutely sickening. I don't want any wrestler to be in harm's way.
Right.
And for the record, Night of Champions was less than a month ago. It was June 27th.
Yeah. It's just and to stay away from that topic. We see how those crowds react, right? To me, the wrestling shows don't seem the same as a US show or Europe show or things along those lines, right? It just falls flat for me. And the crowd's not involved like most places are. And I don't ever agree with anyone doing shows over there. I know why they're doing it, but nonetheless.
I'll say this. I think the crowds have gotten significantly better because if you remember that first show that they had over there several years ago, man, it was ugly. It was really ugly. They had the prince or the king or whoever you call him. It was him and his family and his closest associates or whatever, and they were all sitting on a few rows of couches on every side of the ring, and the fans were 50 yards back in all the bleacher seats around the entire thing, and the entire floor was all empty. And it's like now they have the fans up close and personal, and it looks like a normal arena crowd. So I'll say this, at least they're letting the fans get close, and they're letting the fans they're treating they're not how do I say this? They're not insulting the fans over there by saying, okay, we're making you sit through this, but we're going to put you, 50 yards back in these seats back here. They're at least letting them sit ringside now, And so that has gotten better. The things with the women, I'll tell you what, I actually really enjoy watching what the women are going to wear over there because it's always something different and really well made and it looks great. It's honestly a breath of fresh air. And I know I'm going to sound like an old man, but I'm like, man, it feels like every woman that goes out there has fishnet stockings and looks like Rhea Ripley, like a Rhea Ripley ripoff. I mean, I know I'm exaggerating a little bit here, but I'm not far off, and I think it's ridiculous. It's like, hey, a breath of fresh air to see the women wear something different, and they're still sexy, they're still great looking, You can do it without wearing fishnet stockings and looking like you just walked out of a brothel in LA. It's
Okay. This actually wasn't about where WrestleMania is, for the record. They showing footage of Brady slapping Paul on Raw, agreed that the company appears to be building toward the 7-time Super Bowl champion stepping inside a WWE ring. The storyline has been fast. Brady and Paul traded insults for weeks before things exploded at FanFest in New York City, where Brady slapped the WWE star across the face. Security quickly stepped in before the confrontation could go any further. 2 days later, they crossed paths again at the FIFA World Cup final between Argentina and Spain. Michael Rubin shared footage of Brady smiling and flipping Paul off from nearby seats. Paul returned the gesture, but Brady kept firing back while everyone around them laughed. WWE has also been holding ongoing conversation with Brady about a possible appearance. Nothing has been finalized. It's not clear what role Brady would accept, but Meltzer believes the angle is being built slowly because the former NFL quarterback will need some time to train.
Oh, you think?
and I'm going to go ahead and move on to my part of this instead of continuing the article, because the point of this is about them making a match between Tom Brady and Logan Paul. Anyway, Look, Sammy versus Johnny Knoxville was just a bunch of gimmicky weapon spots to let Knoxville relive his jackass days with Sammy in a wrestling ring. It wasn't meant to be a match. It should probably have never happened, but it was treated as a gimmick. Cat appearing on Saturday night's main event was just an appearance. Sure, he put his hands on JD and Dom, but he did a couple of moves, and it was a Danhausen match. Bad Bunny did a far better job in the ring than I expected. You could tell he trained and took that training seriously. Former NFL stars that are untrained should not be getting in the ring. Tom Brady may be considered the GOAT of the NFL, but this match with Logan Paul is a mistake, in my opinion. A mistake that WWE thinks is a good idea. A mistake they have made in the past. Lawrence Taylor faced Bam Bam Bigelow at WrestleMania 11. The WWE had an entire battle royal for NFL stars at WrestleMania 2.
Thank you.
I don't much care for Logan Paul, but this is not the right way to fix problems you may be having with ticket sales. Brady's flashy and well known and probably would sell tickets. Logan's good in the ring. I can admit that, even though it pains me to do so. As we have seen, it doesn't always matter how good you are. Accidents still happen. Owen versus Stone Cold Steve Austin, anyone? This match is a mistake from top to bottom. I also think you hurt Logan's credibility as a wrestler by having him beat up on and probably lose to an aging retired quarterback. Save us all the misery and don't make this match official. Thanks for coming to my Max Talk.
Well said. Welcome back, Baron.
Hey, welcome back.
Uh-oh.
Yes, but also
now
it's Tom Brady.
Yeah. And the only reason why he won all those championships is because his coach cheated.
Oh, let me mute my mic. you can't dismiss the GOAT. He's the GOAT for a reason.
Packer fan over here. No,
Yeah.
I'm the GOAT.
Of not football. Sorry, Max. Hate to break that to you.
So we're talking about Joe Montana then?
No, we're talking about the guy that's got 6 rings for a reason. And went to another team the year he retired after left Patriots and won a Super Bowl 2 years later. Come on. You can't dismiss that. I get it, right? This is more of a publicity stunt thing. Yeah, we've seen his promos together on the podcast and things along those lines. They've done a lot of fan fanatic things together. So, I mean, I got to put asses in his seat somehow. I think Tom Brady could do that. But a wrestling match, I don't think we're going to have some, like a mixed tag team or something could happen. I mean,
you play it safe with that. Yeah.
These athletic people, I tend to not dismiss. I've seen a lot of them recently come in and do like Bad Bunny, man. I mean, he's not a sports player, right? He's a musician. He had a fantastic run in WWE. So I'm not against it. It's a fun factor. It's an entertainment factor, but don't put them in a match together, one-on-one. Make it that celebrity mixed tag team match or something along those lines. And I think it could work. It might put some asses in seats.
Yeah, I get the whole like celebrity thing for WrestleMania. Like Max said, it's been done all the way back from when and look, I was a little kid when this happened. But you mentioned that battle royal with all the NFL players at the time, and the fridge was in there. The fridge was probably the most popular one in that match because at that time, so many people loved the Chicago Bears. And he was a celebrity. He was one of the most loved players on that team because he was a force to be reckoned with. And I remember watching that. I was like, oh, the fridge, yeah. And I don't remember knowing anyone else that was on there as far as the freaking, I liked Chicago and I loved the fridge and I loved Jim McMahon. And that's about it. I couldn't even tell you who the Packers were on, who are on the Packers team that year. But the Super Bowl shuffle, that's that was a shit back then. So, but yeah, so sometimes it works. For this, and I mean, I can see why they want to do it. And yeah, you got to start something like this way back now for next year because yeah, if that is the plan and he's got to train, then oh god. Logan Paul's injured right now, and the fact that he took a big ass slap from Brady and he's still not cleared, I don't think that was very smart. Maybe a little shoving or something like that, but Jesus, but I know Logan Paul's going to come back sooner rather than later, and man, I hated him for a long time, because I've been doing YouTube for a long time and because who he was on YouTube. But I can't deny his athleticism, and he's one of my favorite guys to watch right now. The guy is great on the mic. He's great in the ring. I salute the hustle, man. I mean, you can't, it's not like they just said, okay, we're going to give you a match and we're going to give you a mic and then that's it. No, man. He put a freaking ring delivered to his house so that he could train and make this a thing for himself. I'm like, I appreciate anyone who at least tries to do that. It doesn't always work, but man, he has made it work, and it's crazy good.
Here is the order of elimination. Andre the Giant won that battle royal.
Yeah.
Jimbo Covert from the Bears, King Tonga, Ernie Holmes from the Steelers, Jim Brunzell, Tony Atlas, Pedro Morales, Harvey Martin from Dallas Cowboys, Ted Arcidi, Danny Spivey, Hillbilly Jim, B. Brian Blair, Bill Fralick of the Atlantic Falcons, the Iron Sheik, Bruno Sammartino, William Perry, refrigerator, from Chicago, Big John Studd, Russ Francis from the Niners, Jim Neidhart, and Bret Hart were the participants in that battle royal.
Wow. Man, there's some names in there. Holy crap.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
All right. All right, guys, we got to talk about something none of us expected, but it has become a reality in recent weeks. This story comes to us from Fightful. Sheamus remains under WWE contract, but is set to be a free agent on October 1st. Update on when Sheamus is set to be a free agent. July 10th, Fightful Select reported that Sheamus is set to depart WWE. He's a former WWE World Champion who worked for the company for 20 years, from 2006 till this year. Fightful Select recently reported Sheamus remains under contract, but is set to be a free agent on October 1st. My guess, if I had to guess, is he's just letting the contract expire. He's not asking to be released from it early. That's just when it's going to be up and he's going to be free. And I got to be honest with you guys, I have been watching Sheamus his entire career.
Yeah.
And I did not see this coming when the news broke a couple weeks ago. And it's even tougher to take now that we know what his actual last day with the company is. You know what I mean?
Can't believe when you said 20 years. I was like, I can't believe it's been 20 years.
This is a guy that would show up early, set up the ring, stay late to tear it down. I mean, this guy busted his ass for the company. Triple H did an interview at one point saying he dropped the belt to this guy because this guy earned that title. And it doesn't get much higher praise than that.
Oh, yeah. I'm trying to think. He started out in like the remaking of the ECW, didn't he? He was one of the like fresh new faces on there, wasn't he? I want to say, or am I wrong?
Let's take a look. Training duty, Irish Whip, British Circuit, Stu Sanderson, WWE Florida Championship.
That's how I sound in my sleep.
On the 30th June 2009 episode of ECW, Sheamus made his unannounced debut as a villain under the shortened ring name of Sheamus, quickly defeating local competitor Oliver John. So yeah, he started on ECW. So, Baron, you okay, fella?
Wild.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I was just looking at some stuff on the internet here. Yeah, I don't have much to say on that matter.
You're not gonna miss Sheamus?
I mean, we literally just talked about him 2 weeks ago. I love what he did, right? But also it's a point of the last 4 years of Sheamus just wasn't anything, right? So like him going somewhere else, doing his thing is what is needed. I mean, just because it hasn't done anything for me for maybe even longer than 4 years. Been at least 10 years before anything's really been. He's had like 2 really solid stories in the last 10 years I can think of, like Drew McIntyre and who else am I missing here?
Cesaro. His
Yes.
tag team run with Cesaro was
great, and I love what he did for WWE. But it's that point of someone's career that it is a great time, and it's not that like, oh yeah, he's fucking sucks, get him out of here.
Yeah,
it's time to open his wings because his career, like you said, 20 years, right? So it's definitely time to try something different.
Yeah. All right. I know Baron hates this next subject, but we got to talk about it. I've been hearing so many negative reports about how Tony Khan is backstage. I've heard some positive. Let's not get it twisted. But even
name one positive real quick. Name one that you've heard.
Bryan Danielson.
God damn it.
He shares his cocaine. Oh.
Yeah.
No, that came from Taz. Bryan Danielson praised how Tony Khan is backstage, though. But Jake Hager even made some comments recently about how he will never work for Tony Khan again because Tony Khan showed his true colors. So, this next story comes to us from Ringside News. Tony Khan accused of trying to control the conversation around AEW. Nick LaPiccolo says Tony Khan's biggest goal isn't just running AEW, it's controlling how the company is talked about online. In a follow-up social media post, LaPiccolo claimed Khan has built a network around AEW designed to shape discussion across Reddit, Twitter, and wrestling news sites. According to LaPiccolo, the goal is to protect AEW's image. Sorry, I had something in my throat. And shut down anyone who threatens the preferred story. My belief is that Tony's number one goal has always been to control the internet. Not literally every account, but to control the conversation around AEW across Reddit, Twitter, and the dirt sheets. LaPiccolo claimed certain people are made to feel close to AEW so they will defend the company, steer online discussion, and attack critics without needing to be directly paid. He said the same tactics are used when somebody becomes a problem for the company. LaPiccolo pointed to repeated accusations involving mental health, drug use, and instability as a way to make critics easier to dismiss. The strategy, as I see it, is to make certain people feel important, connected, and useful so they'll protect the company's image. There's that catch in my throat again. Shape the discourse and attack anyone who threatens the preferred narrative, often without even being paid. When somebody needs to be silenced or discredited like me, that same network comes in handy. You see the same language appear over and over again. Call them crazy, say they're on drugs, belittle them, make false accusations, make them seem unstable enough that nobody listens to them or pays attention to what they're actually saying. LaPiccolo also claimed that intermediaries with ties to Khan have contacted him more than once and asked him to stop talking about AEW. He then said the situation has gotten so deep that it could eventually become its own Dark Side of the Ring episode. Before I go any further, we could totally do a whole episode on Tony Khan's cocaine addiction. Anyway, yes, absolutely, and it has happened multiple times. I have screenshots of it too. I still get asked by intermediaries with ties to cocaine, to Tony Khan, if I can just lay off him for a while and stop talking about AEW. There should really be a DSOTR about it one day. LaPiccolo followed that by taking a direct shot at Khan and AEW, claiming they see themselves as being on the same level as WWE, TKO, and Nick Khan. Sorry, there was the main problem with this strategy as it relates to me is that TK and others think they're on the same level as me. The same way they think they're on the same level as WWE, TKO, Nick Khan. They're not. He also clarified what he means when he says communications were made on behalf of AEW. LaPiccolo named Bernie Cahill, Tony Khan's partner and head of activist artists, while making it clear he's not claiming AEW formally approved every contact. For clarity, when I say on behalf of AEW, I include communications I understand Bernie Cahill, Tony Khan's partner and the head of activist artists, made to Paradigm regarding me between July 13th and July 16, 2025, and afterward. I am not claiming AEW formally authorized every communication. I'm describing how I understand those contacts in context. These are LaPiccolo's claims. He did not post the screenshots he says he has. Tony Khan, AEW, and Cahill have not publicly responded to the latest accusations. LaPiccolo's message is clear. He believes AEW's online battle is not just about defending the company. It is about controlling the entire conversation around it. Okay, let me be as clear as I can. Tony Khan, you have put your own company's image.
I'm sorry, real quick. Who is saying all that? Who is this LaPiccolo
guy? Nick LaPiccolo. He used to work for AEW. Hang on.
Because I heard the name and I heard some of this discussion this week, but I was like, who is this?
He is apparently a Hollywood agent, and my guess is he probably represents some of the people that have worked for AEW.
Oh, okay. Okay. I was just curious, is he a journalist? Who is he? Okay.
And apparently he came out in May and said that AEW was denied the option to renew the TV deal. So, anyway, let me be completely blunt, Tony Khan. Try and come and shut me down for this. You have destroyed your own image. Trying to control that image is making it worse. What you need to learn how to do is actual damage control. See, when you do actual damage control, you go on an apology tour. You try to clean the image up the right way. You don't shut down the people criticizing you. And we have been very critical here. And that's because you have earned that criticism. And we will continue to be very critical. However, my offer does still stand. Please reach out, and my friends and I will gladly come help you fix that shit show of a booking that you have going on and get your company on a better track. We will help you fix your image. I swear I can help you rehab it. And my friends, they will help you rehab it as well because they will come with me and work with me. But right now, your image is in the shitter, and picking fights with critics is not the best route for you. Gentlemen?
I was going to say, I love you, Max, but I'm not coming along for that one.
I said my friends.
Oh, wow.
Baron, you're still invited.
Oh, thanks. That's so sweet of you. But I don't know. Do I want to be a part of this?
You're going to help me fix the shit show. It'll be good when we're done.
Will it?
I just can picture you guys backstage and everyone else just like, who the hell are these guys?
Who are these jokers here? Do you got any booger sugar? That's the first question asked in the back. You got some booger sugar?
I'm Max Magius. Who the hell are you?
I'll bring the vibes and I'll bring the green. Let me do that for everyone. I think we're past the point of fixing that place over there.
I think we can fix it, but he'd have to let us fix it. That's where the
that's a good point.
So, all right, guys, let's jump into a TNA related story. This comes to us from Ringside News. Richard Holliday's TNA absence raised eyebrows as WWE interest grows. Richard Holliday missing TNA's latest television tapings did not go unnoticed, and now people inside the promotion are asking questions about where he's headed next. Fightful Select stated that Holliday was not at the recent TNA tapings in Boston, which caught several people inside the company by surprise. His absence prompted inquiries, especially with WWE showing internal interest in bringing him aboard. Regarding Richard Holliday, it should be noted that we can only confirm internal interest from the company. One source indicated they expected him to be signed. He's been playing it up on social media to an almost suspicious level. He was at the Boston TNA tapings, which surprised that he wasn't at the Boston TNA tapings, which surprised a number of people at TNA, leading to the inquiries. We do expect him to land in WWE. That TNA reaction is the biggest sign yet that Holliday's status is becoming a real story behind the scenes. He has appeared for the company in the past, so several people expected him to be part of the Boston tapings. When he never showed up, attention immediately shifted toward the ongoing WWE talk. There is still no confirmation that Holliday has signed a WWE contract. What can be confirmed is that WWE has interest in him. while one source expects the former MLW star to eventually join the company. Holiday has not exactly tried to shut down the speculation either. His recent social media activity has leaned heavily into the rumors, which has only made his next move look more suspicious. The speculation intensified after Holiday lost to Bear Bronson at GCW Melee. Instead of simply leaving the ring, Holiday untied his boots, placed them in the center of the canvas, bowed to the crowd, and walked away without offering an explanation. Leaving your boots in the ring usually signals the end of a chapter. Actually, it usually signals the end of your career, not the end of a chapter. But
right,
Yeah.
Holiday never announced his retirement, leaving fans to wonder whether he was saying goodbye to the independent scene before moving to a larger company. PW Insider previously stated that people inside WWE believe Holiday is headed to NXT. WWE also had plans to introduce him as part of the WWE ID program during WrestleMania 42 weekend in Las Vegas, but that announcement never happened. So this is the question I have for you, Jaybone, as the TNA guy on our show.
Mm-hmm.
What the hell is going on at TNA?
I was not aware that he was on TNA's radar. I mean, I've heard, like, you always hear like certain names brought up, like, oh, TNA should hire this guy or TNA should hire this girl. And I know that he was in the news a lot. He was fighting cancer. He came back from it, and he was working several different indies. But I didn't hear anything beyond that, and I didn't even know. I mean, unless he worked like and I always kick myself for this for not watching the side show to TNA is, which is Explosion, and they usually feature a lot of indie stars wrestling roster members, or sometimes it's two up and coming indie stars wrestling against each other. I've not, if he's on there, I missed it. But I love this stuff that he did with MJF and Hammerstone. Was that it? They were the dynasty in MLW several years ago, but right before, it would have been right before AEW started. And I love that stuff. I love those three guys together. And then I kind of fell away from MLW. I heard about Holiday's cancer stuff. He made the big comeback to wrestling, which I thought was amazing. I was so happy for him. And it's like, all right, yeah, he's going to be on someone's radar, but I haven't heard anything like specific. So, hey, I mean, I did. You mentioned leaving the boots in the ring. I did see that footage. I didn't know from where it was from. You said GCW, or from where?
That was at GCW Melee after his fight with Bear Bronson.
Okay, so Bear Bronson is with TNA. So, I mean, is that a sign? I don't know. I haven't heard anything. I'd love to see him get called up somewhere. I think the kid is incredibly talented. He's got a hell of a story that deserves to be told on a bigger level. His comeback, his braveness, all that connected.
I mean, look, Jay, this is what I'm trying to understand. Over the last several weeks, we've been seeing story after story after story about Tommy Dreamer leaves TNA. We saw this person's been released, this person's gone.
Yeah.
And now we have this guy that nobody seems to know if he was actually Richard Holiday. Nobody seems to know if he was actually supposed to be employed with TNA or if it was like a one-off. Nobody seems to know what's going on. So I repeat my question. What the hell is going on at TNA, Jaybone?
There's some changes going on. Look, as far as people on top, that's not changing. Carlos Silva is still the president. As far as bigger names on the inside, like Tommy Dreamer, yeah, whenever you have a significant name like that leaving the company, you're gonna have people. Like the same thing happened with Scott D'Amore. A lot of people left the company when Scott D'Amore left because they were connected with the push from Scott D'Amore. If there was a name connected with Tommy Dreamer that he had something to do with maybe bringing them in, and now he's gone. So then if he was behind the push of anyone or the booking of specific people, then maybe the interest in those people is going to be gone. So, so you got new heads of people, or new heads writers running the helm now, as far as we're making the matches and everything. There's still rumors about Road Dogg coming in. I don't know. He was on the latest OVW show on commentary, which I watched part of that. That was pretty cool.
I seen a clip of that. Yeah.
I just love it. He's like, oh, you didn't know? Always love Road Dogg. And yeah, he's got a great history with TNA too, with his oh god, it's Conan and R-Truth. It's not Triple X. I'm drawing a blank. I'm kicking myself for it. But anyways, so yeah, there are some changes, significant changes going on in TNA. You're going to see more new faces come in. You're probably going to see a few more faces go. It's a new chapter, and they're doing their best with it. You just saw another tag team go, which was Saints and Sinners. And it's one of those things that's like, well, they just lost another team. What are they doing? There's a bigger picture to everything. Sometimes on a fan level, you look at a tag team and, oh, these guys are great. They're so talented. Why aren't they getting pushed? Blah, 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 blah. We're not privy to all the conversations that go on behind the scene. Fans only see so much, and that's what fans need to remember. You can look at it, oh, so-and-so's got to get hired, or this woman's got to get hired for the knockouts. Yeah, in our eyes, so-and-so maybe, Richard Holiday might be one of those that they had their eye on. But then they maybe saw something about him that was like, okay, maybe we should pump the brakes on it. We don't know what's all going on, And it can be frustrating for fans because you want to see so-and-so make it to a major name. But hey, if interest from WWE is going to surpass interest from TNA, God bless them, have them go someplace and get a shot in NXT, the guy's talented. He's got a hell of a story. As long as he gets somewhere, that's all that matters, So,
all right.
I hope that answered your question. I don't know.
I mean,
you made sense though. When someone in the back leaves, that is like that, like you said, with Scott D'Amore, that's tends to be how people, shuffle out of the company. When Road Dogg comes in, it's going to bring over a lot of WWE talent, right? Like, I think that's going to be you can almost guarantee that happening with TNA, right? And it's based off of people booking and how they book and things along those lines. People
have connections, and that was one of the number one thing I heard about Tommy Dreamer on his exit is, okay, so-and-so has X amount of connections. Tommy Dreamer had thousands of connections. Yeah. It makes sense, So,
all right. Yeah. I promised you that I would hit a big ending tonight before we get into results. So, finally, I know you guys saw the background for the show and the title of the show. How could Max possibly have a show and not mention the guy on the background and in the title? Well, I would never do that to you. From Fightful, Mike Santana returns to WWE NXT and stares down Tony D'Angelo. The main event of the July 21st episode of NXT on the CW was a street fight for the NXT Championship. The champion, Tony D'Angelo, defended the belt against Naraku. Why does that sound like a Street Fighter name? The match concluded with D'Angelo hitting the dead to rights on Naraku through a table, and that secured him the win. Throughout the night, NXT General Manager Robert Stone had been on the phone with someone who he said was coming to the show. That individual showed up, and it was former TNA World Champion Mike Santana. He stared D'Angelo down while the champion held his title up. After dropping the title, the TNA World title at Slammiversary, TNA went on to remove Santana from their roster page. He had been back with the promotion since 2024. Commentator Vic Joseph stated that Santana crossed the line which is the phrase that is used when NXT and TNA talents compete in each other's home promotions. And guys, I for one am excited about this. I figured this was inevitable when he started working with TNA and we have the relationship between WWE and TNA. I figured eventually, just like Joe Hendry and everybody else, he would leave TNA and actually go to WWE. I'm excited to see what he's going to do. And the fact that they started him out by having him immediately go for Tony D'Angelo, I think is the right idea.
Yeah, I mean, like, you have to also remember back when, he kind of led the charge with Team TNA versus NXT, right? Wasn't he the main guy that won in the match, if I'm not mistaken? I mean, that's been so fucking long. My fucking memory is faded. But if I remember correctly, and he literally challenged fucking Trick Williams for the TNA title on NXT, right? Yeah. So, like, he's always been a center focus on NXT. So, I mean, like, it's great that, and this all happened within the last year, too.
Yeah.
Right. So, it's good to see them take stock in people that they have liked from this cross promotion. And I think that's the importance of this, right? Like,
yeah.
He also had a hell of a match with, the tag team Out the Mud on NXT, and that was at the theater in Madison Square Garden. So that was, and that's where Santana's from, and he got a hell of a pop from that one. I remember. I don't remember who they faced, but I remember the reaction the crowd got. So yeah, I'm so happy for him. But yeah, it's for TNA fans. It's like, oh no, we're losing another one. But man, I'm so happy for Santana. Watching his story play out over the last 2 years in TNA, his comeback, he had the feud with Mustafa Ali, which really kick-started him towards the main event of things. And his stuff with Trick Williams was great. Now, granted, he lost the title right away, and I don't know what was going on with that, but he was always on the hunt for it. He's been a great TNA champ. His last match with Nick Nemeth was great. The guy's destined for good stuff, and it couldn't happen to a better guy. That's another. We were just talking about Richard Holiday and his story that should be told about being brave and fighting cancer and all that stuff. Santana's got a similar story, not obviously disease related, but he had the major injury in AEW. Now, granted, he's not going to say AEW on WWE television, but he was injured. He went through rehab. He cleaned up his life for his family, his daughter, namely, and watched this all play out on TNA television, and it's been amazing.
Yeah.
So I'm so happy for him. He's going to do great things.
Yeah.
He's not just a good wrestler. He's great on the mic. His promos that he's cut, the real life stuff he's told, it's man.
Right.
Couldn't happen to a better guy.
All right, guys, that's it for the news. I think there's only one more thing we have to go over, and that's how Jaybone didn't get the picks right, all the picks right, even though he says he did. We're just going to cover this real quick because I basically want to give out the scores. We're not going to go to a full recap. Danhausen beat JD McDonough after Dom and Kat and the little Danhausens got involved. We all got that right, so we all got that point. I want to be clear. I wanted Fatal Influence to win the women's tag title match, but I didn't think the WWE was going to do it at Saturday night's main event. I figured they were going to have them rematch at SummerSlam and then do the title change there. I'm very happy to have cost myself this point because Fatal Influence did beat Paige and Bree, so I'm the only one that got that wrong. Bailey versus Lyra. We all picked Lyra to win this, and Lyra went murder hobo and won this match, so we all got that point. Punk and Cody versus Gunther and Sammy. If Gunther and Sammy had won, they would have gotten in. They would have turned the title match into a fatal 4-way. Instead, the main event will be 1-on-1, and Gunther will face off with Nick Aldis at SummerSlam. Baron was the only one to pick Gunther and Sammy in this. So final scores, Baron and I were tied with 3 points apiece, and Dizzy and Jaybone both got 4 points apiece. So that's going to do it, unless, Jaybone, are we still doing that sticker giveaway?
We are. Yeah, and I just wanted to reiterate that because I had a discussion with Mrs. Bone, and I just want to thank you for everyone who has followed on the new Instagram for the Ramblers Unleashed. We're almost we last week when we first were talking about it, there was like 12 followers, and granted it was from close friends, us, whoever. Now we're at almost 80, so that's great. That is great. It's obviously we're not influencers or whatever, but hey, you got to start somewhere, so it's just great. I did look at the conversations. Most of them are just like, thank you for the follow, for the follow, for the follow, for the follow. None of them were from subscribers from YouTube. So I'll just reiterate it, saying, hey, some people like, little giveaways and stuff like that. But if you have subbed recently or are going to sub and are interested in getting, where are they? There they are, right here. Some stickers from the household of Jaybone, from Mrs. Jaybone, because she made these. I think these are great. You can get some stickers, and all you got to do is when you sub, get over to the Instagram, follow us on the Instagram. That link is in the description, and hit us up, and hit up my wife in the DM. No, just message.
I was waiting for that. I knew it was coming.
Just message the Ramblers in the Instagram saying, hey, here's a picture. I subbed. I'm interested in getting some stickers. Give us your address. We'll send them out to you. We love our fans. We appreciate you. And it's something small, but it's something we can do for you guys for now. And also, if you are interested in supporting us more, the link for the merch is also in the description. Right now, it's just all there is the logo. I'm trying to get that without the glare. There we go.
Fire.
The Ramblers Unleashed. That logo is in the shop for t-shirts, bags, socks, thongs. No thongs. The thongs are sold out.
What? I thought you got that added. Damn it.
No banana hammocks. Sorry. No, just there's a lot of different things. For your office, your home, to clothe yourself, a hat, something.
And also the link for In Demand Indie by Rob Ryzin is in the description below. Please check that out, especially if you're interested in getting into the business. I think that's going to do it for the Ramblers Unleashed tonight. Until next time, Baron, how can they find you?
You find me on the Twitter. It's Scumbag Jordan with 3 N's.
Is it active?
Actually, maybe go check that out for me, folks. I'm not too sure if it's active because last time I tried to get into my account, it was like locked or it says not available. So I actually have no idea what the fuck's going on there.
Just maybe you'll have to make a new one.
No,
if they let you.
That was literally from day one when Twitter came out, and I don't remember when that was, but that was an old fucking account. We're talking very old.
What'd you do, scumbag?
I did nothing. I'm never on there. I think the only thing I ever do is retweet our YouTube videos.
Yeah.
That's the alphabet.
It does not seem to pop up in my search.
Oh, that's not great.
Yeah.
But I mean, maybe find me with Scumbag Jordan with 2 N's. We'll get us switched up here.
There you go.
We'll figure it out.
You're on Instagram too, aren't you?
Yeah, on Instagram.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll get it figured out. For right now, though, Grandpa, how can they find you?
Oh, when I'm not napping, you can find me on the old Twitter at Jaybone5150. That's Jaybone 5150. You can also follow me every Thursday night for all things TNA over on Total Nonstop Impact.
Yeah.
Over on the YouTube and the Twitch for the live reaction, and then the review following the show with the crew. So I'll be doing that tomorrow night.
You can follow me at Max Magius. You can follow the show at the Ramblers Pod. And as I mentioned at the top of the show, please go see the tweet that I retweeted from Royce Isaacs earlier today. If you can help him out in any way, he would greatly appreciate that. So I think that's going to do it for tonight. If you enjoyed tonight's show, hit the like button. If you aren't already subscribed, consider subscribing and hit that bell icon to be notified when we go live. Now, get out of here and go watch some wrestling or go watch Masters of the Universe. It's available with Prime as of today.
Oh, okay.
I love Masters of the Universe stuff. I grew up on it. I don't know if I'm gonna like this new He-Man. The trailer does not make him look good. I'm just saying.
I will tell you, Rowdy and the boys went to see it in the theaters, and they came back and said that they were pleasantly surprised. So I'm looking forward to watching it.
Oh, as in it was good.
As in it was good, yeah.
Okay.
Rowdy said that he felt all the nostalgia he was hoping to feel.
Nice.
Oh, okay. All right.
So,
when's that coming out on Hulu?
well, it's available on Prime, so it'll probably be a little while before it hits Hulu.
Peace and love, folks.
There you go.
Thanks for tuning in to Ramblers Unleashed. Follow the show on social media, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and click the bell icon for notifications of upcoming episodes.